We were a small group of friends, Alex, Mia, Daniel, and me. One summer vacation day, we decided to go on an adventure and set our sights on an old, abandoned hospital in town. The hospital was a mysterious and eerie symbol in our small town. The hospital building was unsettling with broken windows, tealing walls, and an eerie silence that surrounded it. We cautiously stepped inside, embarking on our exploration of its dark corridors. Suddenly, Daniel announced he needed to use the restroom, and with a laugh, he turned his back and walked away. Mia and I waited in the hallway, but Daniel didn't return. We started calling out for him, but there was no response. Panic began to set in as we desperately searched the hospital. We opened every door, checked every room, but there was no sign of Daniel. With each passing moment, our fear grew. Finally, Mia and I ventured down to the basement of the hospital. There, we found a rusty door that led to the morgue. We climbed down the stairs, slowly opened the door, and were met with darkness. We had only a trembling candle to light our way. Inside the morgue, we saw silent bodies lying on cold metal tables. And then, we saw Daniel in a coffin. Our eyes widened in shock. The glass on the coffin was dirty, but we could still see Daniel's face. We couldn't believe it. He was lifeless, his skin pale, and he lay motionless. Suddenly, Daniel's eyes snapped open, and he slowly rose from the coffin. Mia and I recoiled in fear. Daniel's gaze was vacant, and he could only recall being in the restroom before finding himself here. We asked him what had happened, but he had no memory of how he had ended up in the morgue. He only knew he had been in the restroom, and then here, in the morgue. We hurriedly got him out of there and away from the hospital. While it was a relief that Daniel was away, the fact that he had no memory of his ordeal troubled us deeply. As we returned to search for answers, behind Daniel's mysterious disappearance in the hospital, a strange feeling came over us when we approached the restroom door. The restroom was pitch dark and eerily silent. We could only hear the faint sound of dripping water. Daniel, being the last person seen in there, wanted to investigate, but none of us dared to go inside. Daniel pushed the restroom door open and stepped inside. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind him, trapping him inside. Mia and I frantically tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. An unsettling silence filled the hallway. We couldn't hear Daniel's cries for help. Together, we forced the door open and finally succeeded. However, the restroom was empty, and Daniel was gone without a trace. Determined not to waste any more time, we searched the hospital's rooms and hallways once more, but with every step, the hospital grew more ominous and enigmatic. In the end, we found Daniel in one of the patient rooms. He was lying in another coffin, his eyes closed this time. There was a message written on the glass of the coffin: "I'm not here, I'm with them." As we wandered through the hospital rooms, we contemplated how to save Daniel. Mia insisted we had to leave the hospital immediately, and she was right, but leaving Daniel behind was not an option. Ultimately, with the help of hospital staff, we transported Daniel and left the hospital. We placed him in an ambulance and rushed him to another hospital. The doctors couldn't explain why he had ended up in that state. Daniel still had no recollection of the night he disappeared into the restroom. Years later, the events surrounding Daniel's disappearance remained a mystery, and the conclusion of this chilling hospital story continued to elude us, Mia, Daniel, and I never forgot that terrifying experience, and we never shared the secrets of that mysterious hospital in our town. But to this day, when we think of that night, we shudder, and the mystery of Daniel's restroom vanishing remains unsolved.